Welcome to Snaffle Travels from the Horse's Mouth. Tonight we're going virtually to Peru. My name is Tania Huppets. I'm the owner and founder of Snaffle Travel. So I'm just going to bring up the slides for you. Won't be a moment. So Peru, it's deep, rich, it's got a lot of history, bright, vibrant people, and an amazing culture, amazing architectural feats and wildlife, and you've got the Amazon jungle. It's just an amazing country to visit. The best time to go is May to October. Did you know Spanish is not the only language spoken in Peru? There's 3 other languages plus 13 indigenous languages. Piranhas are more of a Hollywood myth, more blown up in the media. The largest flying bird in the world, the giant Andean condor, is found in Peru. There's over 4,000 varieties of potatoes in Peru, and Lake Titicaca is the highest lake in the world. Pisco sour is also Peru's national drink. So when you go visit a hotel, normally they'll give you a welcome drink, and it'll be a pisco sour. Now, most people fly into Lima. Lima is the capital. It's the 5th largest city in South America and was founded in 1535 by the Spanish. The Lima Cathedral on the left was completed in 1649. And on the right is a monastery of San Francisco. It was actually built over a cemetery. And so you go down underneath and there's a catacombs and you'll see, like, I think there's about 75,000 bodies buried down there, according to our tour guide. So if you're a little bit claustrophobic or squeamish, I wouldn't recommend going there. But I hired a private guide and he gave me a tour of Lima. I went to the palace. Quite an amazing city and well worth a look. On our second day in Lima, we did a day tour and we were going to a horse show. So we stopped off on the way at the Pachacamac ruins. They date back from 200 AD. Now you're going to see lots of ruins in Peru. So, but this was just a taste for more to come. And when we organised this, we visited this horse show. We had lunch here. They did an amazing show. They all dressed in traditional gear. Even the riding equipment was very, very ornate. They gave us a guide around the property. We met all the horses, and after our lunch, we were able to actually ride the horses. They're Peruvian Pasos. They came originally across from Spain with the back in the 15th, 16th century, and they've got this amazing gait. It's called the Pasolina, and it's very similar to like the Icelandic horse with the tolt, where it's very, very smooth. So it's a very popular horse for trail riding. And this was like the ornate tail guard they had over the saddles, and the saddles were just beautiful, and they had very interesting stirrups. You won't see them on the normal horses going around. This was mainly for the traditional horse show. Now, another amazing feat is the Nazca lines. They, from pre-Columbia geoglyphs in the desert sands, and they cover an area of about 1,000 square kilometres, and it's about 300 different figures and animals and plants, and they're composed of over 10,000 different lines. Some of them measure 30 metres wide and more than 9 kilometres. They're mostly visible from hilltops or if you're flying from the air, and they remain one of the world's greatest archaeological mysteries. And another place to visit, Rainbow Mountain. It's 5,200 metres above sea level, and there's 14 different colourful minerals in the mountains, so well worth a visit. And Lake Titicaca is another great place to visit. So you either take a bus or a train or a flight to Puna, and there's tours from here, and you visit the islands, and the houses and the boats and that are all made out of reed. So very interesting day trip. And the Amazon jungle is just amazing with all the wildlife. The two best places to visit is in the north at Iquitos, that's where we went, or you can go to the south at Puerto Maldonado. So at the top, that's a sloth. We were just on the river, and the sloth was just obviously climbing along the branch. We saw an anaconda snake hopping into the river one day when we were out walking, and we saw a teeper up the top right-hand corner in the river one night. We saw amazing bird life. We heard lots of monkeys. It's a little bit different to Africa. Africa, it's easy to see the animals, whereas in the Amazon, the jungle is so dense, so you can hear the monkeys calling, you can hear the birds and all the animals, but you can't always see them because of the dense jungle. So when we were there, we stayed at Miana Lodge. So there was about 3 to 4 hours boat ride from Iquitos, and they had activities every day. So in the mornings, we might go out by boat and go animal spotting. We might call into a local village. And in the afternoons, we would go, animal spotting again. Or one day we went for a river, swim in the river and swam with the pink dolphins. One afternoon, we went piranha fishing. They've got very sharp teeth. I think we caught about 10. It was really, really interesting. And piranhas mainly live on insects and small fish, and they don't really eat humans. They may eat your arm, chew your arm or your leg, but that would be very unlikely unless you're a threat to them. So, I mean, we were swimming in the Amazon, and there would have been piranhas in there. But our guide cooked up the piranha one night for tea. It tasted okay, and it was quite edible, but they're only small fish, so there wasn't a lot of it. And here we are in Cusco. So from the Amazon jungle, we went to Cusco, and we started in Cusco because it's a very high elevation of 3,369 meters above sea level, and because we wanted to go to Machu Picchu, we needed to be here for 3 to 4 days to acclimatize. So Machu Picchu is this is the square. We visited the 17th century cathedral. I recommend doing a tour of the cathedral and the area. There's lots of lovely restaurants and bars all in the area, really lovely. And then we visited the market. Now, Peru has over 55 varieties of corn, all different colours, and it was just amazing. I love visiting markets when I go overseas. I like to see what they've got on offer and just the atmosphere. And it also has 4,000 varieties of potatoes, all different colours and shapes and sizes. They also have the National Potato Day on the 30th of May every year. Another market we visited was the Pacific Market in the Sacred Valley. This was a lovely market, lots of handicrafts, and we saw a lot of women dressed up in their traditional wear, and lots of lovely things to buy, souvenirs for home. And this is Moray. It's in the Sacred Valley, and this was another one of, it's an agricultural, the Incas used this for agriculture and all the different microclimates, and grew things here. It was very interesting. And then we went to Ollantaytambo in the Sacred Valley. So each day our guide would pick us up from our hotel and take us sightseeing, but also we'd do a bit of walking. At Ollantaytambo ruins, there was about 200 steps and some of them are quite large. So she was getting us used to for when we were going to go to Machu Picchu. And from the top, you got a great view through Ollantaytambo to Sacred Valley. And if you're taking the train to Machu Picchu, you'll pick up the train from Ollantaytambo up to Agaclanti. And the Mara salt mines, this was amazing too. A lot of the salt mines have been in the families since Inca times, and each family has a little plot, and they're still they sift the water through to get the salt, and some of them are dressed in their traditional gear. We visited, you could walk along the top of the mines, very, very interesting. But the water comes from down, the salt water comes down from a natural spring in the Andes Mountains into these shallow pools. It's well worth a visit too. Now, for those thinking of going to Machu Picchu, you can hike to Machu Picchu, you can take the train or a bus. But another great alternative is the Salcone horse ride trek to Machu Picchu. It's an 8-day trip with 7 nights and 6 days horse riding. So you'll ride for 3 to 5 hours a day. You've got to be an intermediate or advanced rider, and you're staying in these luxury lodges. So you'll have gourmet food, you'll have, there's a jacuzzi, and it's just amazing. And the guides and they're all there ready for you. So if anyone's interested in that, you can contact me and I can let you know the details. Now, we're in Machu Picchu, amazing. This was discovered in 1911 and was one of the famous lost cities of the Incas, the last lost city. The Spanish never found it, and it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, as well as voted one of the 7 wonders of the world. It's just amazing. And we wandered around this, and you look down on the city, just awe-inspiring, always been on my bucket list. I do believe they're going to put a platform in, so you won't be allowed to wander around the city. This will come in a few years because there's so many tourists going there. And you'll just watch a video at the village down below at Aqua Calilentes, and then you'll come up by bus and then just take your photo from the platform. You won't be allowed to wander around anymore, which is really sad. So to get to Machu Picchu, if you're taking the train stops at Aqua Calilentes, and then you get a bus up. There's a beautiful hotel right at the gate of Machu Picchu called the Belmont Sanctuary Hotel, but you won't get any benefit by staying there because you can't see Machu Picchu from the hotel, and you can't get into Machu Picchu until your set time. So even though you're staying at the hotel, there's no benefit of getting into Machu Picchu earlier. So you can just get the bus up at your set time from Aqua Calilentes and go by bus. And this is just one of the villages, beautiful scenery. And the Machu Picchu lawnmowers, they're everywhere, and you see them in the Sacred Valley as well. And these ones were quite friendly. And Pisco Sour, as I mentioned before, is Peru's national drink. It's made out of a Peruvian brandy called Pisco Sour, and I think Dan Murphy's sell it, but quite a few of the bottle shops would probably sell it. And it's made with shaken sugar and freshly pressed lime juice and topped with egg white. It's quite a nice drink. So thank you for watching Peru tonight. Next week I'm going to Italy. I've been there quite a few times. The World Equestrian Games are there in 2022. I also offer a couple of riding holiday places in Italy, and we'll discuss that as well. Thank you and have a great night.